Why, hello! So, I am Delia Codes, and this is my Node Capstone streaming. Thank you so much for joining me. To all my Twitch viewers, thank you so much and welcome. So, if you haven't caught it already, I would definitely, and you're listening to this as a recording, I would definitely go back and listen to the intro. If you're reading this as a stream, I would not recommend listening for the intro because it doesn't exist yet. But it will, hopefully by the end of this week. So what we're doing is we are, Thinkful is a boot camp, and I am live coding my Node capstone. So what I've done so far is I have designed, I have written user stories, I have created some files, and I have created some user flows, at least a few, written down. I probably should have drawn them. So, to catch you up a little bit, streamers, I spent way too much time designing, which was good in some ways because my last capstone I under-designed. So, overcompensating, you know how it goes, learning. And so after that, but I found it really clarified my thought in terms of what's really necessary. So, I built a few things, and let's get started in terms of coding and that sort of thing. I'm going to share my screen, and you can go through. But first, actually, let me call up the chat. So in case anybody chats at me, you can also tweet at me at Delia_codes. And once we do the chat, I'm going to confirm that it is working. On live edu, and I'll confirm that it's working on Twitch. Twitch is online. Let's confirm. And it looks like it's live. Cool. And I have 6 total views, which I don't know if that means anything good. All right. Enough looking at things. If you chat in either of those places, I will definitely notice. And I will be checking Twitter as well pretty periodically. All right, let me share my screen. Okay, welcome. All right, so we are going to confirm that this is working. Okay, that's working. And all right, and let's check Twitter real quick, make sure. There we go, expected Twitter. All right, so let's get it going. Okay, so if you were here last time with me, you would have noted that my user stories have changed. Originally, I had a user flow here, which was my written out user flow. I kind of looked at the user flow and was like, why do I have to draw this out when I could just write it out? And I mean, writing it out does work, but it's probably much simpler to draw it out, as I wrote a lot of text. So, you know, I know how it is. Okay, so this is the user story. So what the process is, and I thank you to my mentor and Thinkful, Maxime, who was really incredible in like getting, refining these user stories and helping me really kind of get them a bit more together. So if you look at this user story, as a busy person, I wanted to be able to add a meal. Originally, I had, as a busy person, I want to be able to add and edit a meal. And that was the cut down version. And really, since since what the flow looks like is that we're taking this as a busy person, I want to be able to add a meal, and then moving it over to user feedback, and then moving it over to server side, and then moving it over to done. So I'm not like stuck with features half in the middle of implementation. So because that's kind of the flow and the process that we're looking at, it's one of those things where it would have been kind of much more difficult to like add a meal and edit a meal, because really those are two different features. I mean, you might be able to use the same kind of thing for them, but ultimately, in terms of user feedback and server side and probably stuff like that, I mean, adding a meal is like a simple post and a form, whereas getting a meal and editing a meal is like a few different other functions, completely different. Okay, so what we're doing right now is we're working on a mock AP client with a mock API. So let's go through my list real quick. And one more thing. If you remember, if you were here with me last time, you remember this project, and we were doing the server.JS, and then we were doing this server test.js. And I was trying to get this test to actually run. So last time, I was getting a weird error. And we figured it out. Again, thanks to my mentor, Maxime. So the test currently runs and fails like I expected it to, because this does nothing except return true, and this expects it to be false. The idea is that even a failing test is super worthwhile, and because you expect it to fail, and you expect this to say that it ought to fail. Though it actually is saying test suite failed to run. Cannot find data from server.js. So actually it probably should be /get something, I think. So maybe we didn't fix it. We sort of fixed it. Regardless, I'm not going to be stuck on it immediately. I didn't do the right thing. I need to do npm test. And I'm going to keep this over here. Cannot find module. So I think there's something weird with my export import. In any case, so regardless, what we found out is that in this particular thing is that this tests needed to be double underscore tests in order for Jest to access tests. Now, since I was coming from Chai and Mocha, that sort of thing, I didn't know this, and I just created a folder that said tests, and nor did the documentation that I was looking at show that. And so I would have had to like research it, and so I'm really glad he told me, and it's something I will remember. So I think that there's something wrong with this export. So module.exports equals get something, and this is in server.js. So it should be /server is the file. I'm assuming this means that it's the file, and that this is that. But I don't know. It's apparently not finding it, so I'm kind of wondering whether or not I need to put server.js. I should probably do npm test watch, so that it kind of watches and tries to run it every time. Cannot find module, blah. Okay. And we could spend a ton of time on this, and it may be worth it to skip it for now. So let's see here. let's do a little bit of time. Okay, this is troubleshooting an npm install. Node exporting. Node export. All right, this may be good. Okay, so require router users JS. Function app. Okay. So it starts, require starts in the node modules folder. So it needs to go out of the node modules folder and into server. So that may be why it's failing. So I may need to put another dot here to go up. And then let's remove that because it doesn't, and let me make sure about that. Yeah, because it doesn't necessarily use that. Okay, so let's try it, and then if need be, we will dash watch. And you want to do 2 dashes because of npm. There we go. Okay. Failing test. Perfect. Okay. I'm glad we fixed that. So let's commit that. Okay. First failing test. And let's commit. And it looks like I haven't necessarily pushed in a while. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to say git push. And since I use SSH, I'm going to have to enter a passphrase, which I hope you know what that means. It means secret time. So you don't get to watch. But I can still talk. So after this, what we're going to do is we're going to start mocking out the client. And so what we're going to do, we're going to kind of build a little bit of a front end. And then we're going to start mocking out the enough to serve the data to everything. And I'll show you what the to-do list is in just a sec. Okay, so we have pushed. Yay, push. Okay, so let's undo secret. There we go. All right. Now, next, we did not stage this change, so let's commit it. Now that we've kind of committed things. Okay. We're gonna say renamed folder of server test, because that's what it is. To work with Jest. All right, committed. So next. Ooh. Excuse me. Okay. So let's start working on our index.html. Let's put HTML. Actually, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to do my favorite thing. I'm going to cheat. So, Sublime, one of the one things I like about Sublime versus Visual Studio Code is this. Watch. Let's see here. Okay, there's a trick to this. There we go. Gives you a basic HTML structure. All right, perfect. So this is going to be, let's see here. So we've got index.html and main.css. Okay, so title is going to be meal planner. Let's add a main in here. And do a role equals main. And then I don't know if we necessarily need to do a ton of other things. We'll definitely need to do things, but you know. Okay. So let's see here. We have no actual content is, I guess, the other thing. Let's link the CSS file. So we're going to put that in the head right up here. Okay. I'm not sure if I haven't actually really coded much in HTML. HTML seems really kind of like HTML seems a lot different than I thought it would be in this. I feel like Sublime does a better job. Which is kind of funny and scary. Because I feel like Sublime... Okay, so let's compare real quick. Just to kind of give me a better sense of what this looks like. So this is source. I guess that's not that much different. Okay. I guess I'm just kind of expecting that it should be different. Okay, we're going to exit out that. Okay, so let me... That's fascinating. I didn't know source was an... What is source? I guess is my next question. I mean, I know SRC, but is source the same as SRC? Okay, we're going to find out. Source HTML. Oh, it's a semantic element. That is fascinating. Okay. Right. Okay, so let's remember how to, basic things that I haven't done in a while, link up CSS file. Because I'm thinking SRC, and I think that's how you do it. Yes, okay. So this is how they recommend doing it, is link blah, blah, blah. Okay. So that makes much more sense. And I guess I'm thinking SRC because that's kind of what you can use for some of the other scripts and that sort of thing. So they're saying link relation equals style sheet. And then they say type HTML, CSS. And again, I feel like Sublime would do this for me. So let's... Yeah, you see? So I kind of like the fact that it's not doing this for me, because I'll remember it better. Whereas, like, it's been a while since I've done this, so I'm like, okay, so we're gonna say main.css because it's in the same directory, and then we're gonna go there. Yeah, and that's one of the reasons why. Like, I mean, I think as you're learning, so let's tweet this. As you are learning, code completion, a language, code completion is your best friend and worst enemy. Let's see, do we need to say anything else with it? Code completion is your best friend and your worst enemy. It helps you get things done. But does not help you build the muscle memory for retention, for retaining the code. Welcome to why I didn't know how to link a CSS thing. But after this, I'll probably know it. So, nah, you live and you learn. All right, I'm gonna tweet. I'm gonna say programming language. Even though some people can really say, oh my god, programming language is the worst, you know, because HTML is not a programming language, but we're gonna say good enough. All right, there we go. Tweeted. Now we've got this linked. Okay, so let's add something. We're gonna say, let's add a header here. And actually, I kind of like the VS Code way of doing this. And we're gonna say H1. Meal planner. Which, if anybody has a title suggestion, I'll gladly take it. And then actually, I should probably tweet that. Anybody has a title suggestion to replace meal planner, I am all ears. I'm tempted to say mouths too, but I think that would just be weird. Okay. Let's see. Okay, random people following me. Oh, I should probably start using hashtags. Okay. Note to self, use hashtags. I'm not going to tweet that, okay? I promise. All right. Because otherwise this stream is just going to turn into me tweeting random things. And you don't need that in your life. I'm sure you see enough tweets. I know I did, even when I was not on Twitter. Okay, so we're going to do that. We're going to put in a form. And we're going to put in an input field. Okay. Yeah, I guess input doesn't close. For some reason I thought input closes, but I guess it doesn't. We're going to put a label for the form because we want to be that, and we're going to make the label enclose the form, or excuse me, label for the input, and we're going to make the label enclose the input. We're going to make a field set, which is the bane of my CSS existence when doing forms, but you know, that's how it is. And I'm sure it will look gross at first. And then we probably need a click me button. So we're gonna say input actually, can I do a sub? Yeah. We're gonna say input, and then we're gonna do a type, and we're gonna say submit. We're gonna say name, submit. We're gonna say role, submit. All right. Type, text, name, meal, name. I think role input. And then we're going to give it an ID for the label. So let's see here. ID for the label. We're going to say meal name. Which, I don't know if I'm actually following coding blocks on Twitter, but I think I learned this from coding blocks. The fact that, like, naming is the hardest part of programming. And I mean, well, it's a class name, but, you know, it will get confusing if you're not careful. So, I'm going to take a tiny 2-minute break while I turn on a fan. So I'm going to put up the 5-minute break sign, but I'll be back in like 2 minutes, I promise. Okay, I'm back. Fan is set. Okay. So I'm glad we managed to commit this. So let's see here. Let's check my to-do list, which I don't know if I actually went over. Okay, so I need to hook it up with Heroku, Travis, ESLint, create user interaction, create route, and create client interactions. I kind of ignored this little part because I always like addressing things from the bottom up. I don't know. Anyway, so that's kind of where I'm at. I also need to create an app.js file, as you can see from Maxim's comment right here. So I'm actually really, really happy that I have this list, and I'm like, oh, this is what I'm supposed to be doing. Okay, so let's see here. Let's commit what I've got. Well, let's do two things. Let's do a header, and then we're gonna say, oh, we should do background of whatever that color was. Okay, so what, I need the design here. Okay, so let's say background of color. And then let's put a thing around it. And then we click save. And actually, let's do a text color, text decoration color. I think it may just be color. And actually, we don't want it to a header. We want it to header h1 because we might want a different color. Okay. And then we're going to say color. And then let's figure out if we could do antique white. But let's just do F. Is that enough Fs? Looks like it. Okay. All right. So let's try to render this and see what it looks like. Maybe it'll look good. Who knows? Okay. That's not too horrible, actually. But I kind of would have expected the color to be correct. Header. Okay. That's weird. Maybe my thing isn't link relation style sheet. Ref equals main.css. Maybe that's what it should be. Let's double check. Ref equals text CSS. Okay. All right. Text CSS. Take 2. Glad you didn't commit it, huh? Even tests in front end. Tests. Always important. Okay. Let's refresh. Badala. Okay. Kind of horrible, but not too bad. All right. Though, I guess we should probably do margin auto to center it. Though eventually we probably want to do Flexbox or, one of those other Flexbox for CSS grids for that. All right. So let's refresh. Okay. Did not center. It moved it up, but it did not center. I mean, we could Flexbox it, but that seems kind of a little bit ridiculous right now. So let's leave it as is. And we're not going to worry about it right this second. So. Okay. So let's commit this, shall we? I mean, I didn't even import any Google fonts or anything. I'm sure that we're going to have to do that. All right. Let's say created basic HTML form. Actually, before we commit this, let's commit you, but let's remove this. Let's add a couple more inputs, shall we? we want at least a couple more ingredients. Great. Let's do ID ingredient. Because you have to have at least one ingredient. And then let's say label for ID ingredient. And then let's do label for meal name. And then eventually we'll put something in the labels. But, again, not something that we absolutely need. And then eventually what we'll do too is we'll probably add another input and then have that input control more ingredients and at least have one hard-coded in the HTML. Okay, so we're going to do that and created basic meal form, title header, and rough styling. I'm tempted to say very rough styling, so we're going to do that. And I'm not sure if these are exactly how I should be doing, because I feel like it should be like describing more what the rough styling is and like what you did. Like I styled the intro and that sort of thing. But it's a little bit more nitpicky than I would prefer to be. Okay, so at least we did that. Let's revisit the Heroku and Travis CLI. So hooking up Heroku and Travis CLI was something we did in the previous set of coursework. So it's pretty easy if you've got a tutorial in front of you. So let's see if we can find one. And if need be, I'll go back to the coursework. And for, I'm not sure if the Thinkful's copyright is a big deal, but out of an abundance of caution, if I have to go beyond the capstone requirements, I will use secret stuff, my secret stuff thing, to look at that. Okay, so let's see here. Run your server. Okay, and actually, before we do that, let's create an app.js. Let's cd into public, and then let's do an app.js. And so what we're doing with app.js is we are we are creating a client-side JavaScript file. So this is a JavaScript file that will be served to the client, whereas everything outside of public is going to be server-side. An important distinction. So we're going to do that, and let's make sure we're in. Perfect. Oh, I'm yawny today. Forgive me. I'm going to drink a little bit of tea. Okay, app.js created. I don't think we need to necessarily save it or do anything with it yet. Except we will do use strict. Though, again, I don't necessarily think it's a change worth committing as yet. Okay. So, install test dependencies, add a test command. Did that, add one test, run your test. We didn't pass your test, but we don't need to. All right, set up Travis CLI, or CI, excuse me. All right, so let's use this one, and let's look up how to do that. let's go to my profile real quick, and where you're gonna see like the 50 million projects that are in my GitHub, which I probably will need to clean up before I go live. And before I go live, as in clean up, how do we put this? So I will need to clean up my GitHub because a lot of it is student stuff that I don't necessarily want to keep around after I'm done with the bootcamp. Okay, let's do the getting started because I am definitely getting started. All right, so let's first. Okay, so it's like, okay, let's find meal planner and let's enable meal planner. Meal planner is enabled. Okay, let's add a .travis YML. Excuse me. Okay. All right. So let's create that. Let's make sure I got that right. .travis.yml. Okay, done. And then language NodeJS. Okay, I think I put a semicolon. We're gonna find out. No. I don't think I need any of those. Is it just for running tests, customizing your build, security best practices? Okay, great. So let's undo that. Let's commit this added Travis integration file. Created app. So client-side app. Okay, and then let's do that. Let's check the chat since it's probably been about 45 minutes since I started streaming. Nope, nobody. Okay. And Twitter. I think Twitter is a no. All right. So let's see if let's push these things up. Do you know what that means? Secret time. All right. I am so excited to be pushing up and getting stuff done. And then, okay, let's paste that. And we are done with secret stuff. So let's go back to our Travis, shall we? Oh, look at that. It's installing, it's doing its thing. It's a lot of warrants. I kind of wonder if that's what it should be. Like, I don't even know what most of this stuff is. IS full width code point. I mean, maybe my instance of Node is a problem. I do not know. Oh look, it failed. Syntax error, use of const in strict mode. Okay, what in the hell is that? Well, that's not fun. Okay. Okay. I'm not sure how to do that with a Travis installation. So let me explain my thought process. Apologies. Sometimes it takes me a minute to like actually read something and then integrate it. Okay, so constant letter part of ECMAScript 2015, aka ES6, which I didn't realize ECMAScript 2015 was the same as ES6, but you learn. To enable some of the features, including constant let in Node.js 0.1 and 0.2, start your Node program with a Harmony flag. And so I don't know how to make Travis start with Harmony flag is the thing. Okay, so let's type in Travis and see what you get. Okay. This looks like to be an issue. And looks like to be an open issue. Okay, it looks like we're waiting for a fix. Let's look at 219. Okay. It's closed though. Okay, that's weird. Okay. I mean, let's try running my test. And this is the problem with actually, let's look at, I already have test running. I don't know why I'm like, oh, let's run your test. Oh, that's weird. Okay, so I pressed A to run all tests. And I am getting a events.js throw error unhandled error event. Listen, en in use. I have no clue what that means. That is kind of fascinating. Okay, let's try it again, shall we? So let's say F. A. Okay. Well, that's what I expected. I have no idea why I got that error in the first place. That is so weird. Okay, let's screenshot this real quick. And then, because now I'm like, what in the... I'm going to save and save picture, sure. Weird test error. Okay, anyway, it's working, so there's that. I'm just going to say it's working, and I'm not going to worry about it. Okay, let's do another bash. And let's make sure that our server will run. No, actually. I wonder what exit status 1 means. Okay. Well, I'm not going to worry about it too much right now. It's probably something ridiculous. Okay, so it's been a little more than 45 minutes. I am going to take a truly 5-minute break because, again, Pomodoro, and I can feel my brain kind of going to a slight amount of sludge. And we're going to say, let's tweet something real quick and say something sometimes is important to know when to walk away. And equally, if not more so important, if not more important, it would help if I could spell if right, if not more important, to notice when you need to keep going. All right. Important pronouncement, 5. All right. 5-minute break. I'll be back. I promise. Okay, welcome back. I am Daily Codes, and this is my Node capstone. Okay, so last time we set up Travis CLI. Currently, it is failing as a test and a build, but I'm not gonna worry about it too much right now. I'm still just gonna like kind of roll with it, and we'll find out. I'm not gonna worry about that. We need to set up Heroku. Now, I'm pretty sure it's like Heroku initialize something, but we're gonna go to Heroku.com and look up the docs. Because I think it's like Heroku app start, if I remember right. Heroku. Give me your documentation, oh Heroku. Node.js. Getting started. Perfect. I'm ready to start. I've got that. Okay. I have definitely installed the Heroku CLI. We'll say yes, I have done that. Heroku create. Okay. So, Heroku git push Heroku master. Let's follow these instructions. Right. I don't think we need to be. I think we need to be on our second bash. Heroku create. Let's find out. Maybe I messed something up. Who knows? Hopefully not. That looks like a good sign. Creating app done. Enigmatic Irie 6422. Alright, so we're talking about git push Heroku master. Let's make sure that that's git push Heroku master. Perfect. Okay. Sweet. Yes. Okay. So let's copy that. Let's go to it. And then Heroku PS scale web equals 1. And then Heroku open. So that is Heroku PS : scale web equals 1. Heroku PS : scale equals 1, I think. PS scale and then web equals 1. Web equals 1. All right. There we go. Which is creating a dynamo, and then Heroku open. Okay. Not horrible. I mean, not like, I'm not gonna write home to mom about this. You know what I mean? Like meal planner, and oh my god, that's a horrible shade of red, and just without anything else going on with it. It is kind of McDonald's-y though, which I kind of like, because it's gonna make you hungry. Which, I mean, I think eating is good. We'll say eating is good. All right, so Heroku is done. Let's check things off, shall we? Heroku. Bam. Travis. And we'll say Travis is showing a weird error. And then let's copy that error over. shall we? Where is my Travis? And let's copy all of that. Okay. So I don't know if we actually set up ESLint or not. So let's make sure that ESLint is enabled. Oh, look. All right, I need to do npm install ESLint. And I'm going to do it as a dev dependency. And then, okay. And then we'll double check, once it finishes installing, we'll double check with the package JSON. And make sure that we've got what we need. Make sure that it's installed as a dev dependency and didn't mess the command up. I think npm install is pretty forgiving when it comes to command lines. And from there, all right, finish running you. I kind of feel like I ought to do that. Yes, please. npm IntelliSense, npm support for VS Code. These look like the same thing. What is tslint? TypeScript lint. I don't yet need that. Sure. Let's install bunches of things. Git project manager. No. So let's see here. This is autocompletes, import statements. And then this is it's actually not a bad idea. I mean, it's useful, but it's not oh my god, earth-shattering. I think npm IntelliSense is going to be much better. Okay. So, is this ever going to finish? Oh dear. So let's do a -d at the end here. And let's not try installing anything else while it finishes. And hopefully that's not too much of a mistake. Perfect. Awesome. Skipping optional dependency. That looks amazing. Okay, let's check our package JSON. Dev dependencies. Perfect. All right. So let's add this. And this, and we'll say installed ESLint as dev dependency. Okay. So let's do something that ESLint is going to hate. ESLint does not seem to be coming up. So it seems to be mostly JS hint. So let's call up ESLint RC. Okay. Okay, it looks like I need to do that. Nope. All right. Okay, let's do that. Command not found. Okay. Interesting. All right, so let's do ESLint --init. It'd help if I spelled it right. Okay, and then okay. Use a popular star guide, Airbnb. Nope, I don't use React. JavaScript. There we go. Okay. ESLint --init, which frankly I couldn't have told you that that's what I need to do, but I'm glad I did. And I should probably do an install. Well, I think it'll be fine, but okay. What? Oh. Okay, let's do a global installation just in case I need it again. And in the meantime, I am going to commit, and then we're going to say installing ESLint versus ESLing, which I don't know what that would be. Certainly not a word that I know. Okay, and I don't know if ESLint, yeah, I'm just gonna kind of leave it at that, and we'll go from there. I might have chosen the wrong option for the the file. Maybe I should have chosen JSON, but I don't think it matters too much. Okay, so let's go to our thing, and we'll say, well, first let's test. Make sure that it did something wrong. Okay, problems. Function. I see a lot of JS lint happening. I don't see a lot of ES lint happening. Let's read the tutorial. See if there's anything else we need to do. Oh, right. There isn't. Okay. Oh, I would have to run it. It doesn't automatically run for some reason. Okay, well, we'll say I install it for now. Let's save it real quick, and then let's do... And then it says to what? ESLint to your file.js. ESLint app.js. I'm used to it showing up in this problems tab, but I don't know. Maybe that's not how it's supposed to. Well, I think we should not worry about it right now. At least not immediately. I mean, we set it up, we installed it. So we're going to go with it. Okay, so all we got to do next is create basic user interaction, which we're kind of on the way to doing. We need to create a route in server.js to serve static HTML. And then we need to create client interactions, API.js, and mock interactions, API.js. Oh, Lord. Okay, so let's rename this as API.js versus app.js. Oh, my Lord. You know what? I am ridiculous. Renaming file to API.js to reflect its role, because it's actually not an app. Even though, like, I kind of been thinking about it as an app, but it's not. It's not an app. Okay. All right. And other than that, that's kind of it. We've got stuff we need to do tomorrow. I'll be streaming it at 9 p.m. Pacific tomorrow. So you can catch me then. Hopefully I'll get a chance to do the intro video in between now and then. And if I don't talk to you, and if I don't interact with you on Twitter, I hope you have a good evening. Take care.